Hi folks, Mark here from Views from Mark. Thanks for watching. This is a quick video to demonstrate the way in which you change between having the NATO strap attached to the Spectre Amiga Seamaster 300 and the metal bracelet which also comes, which is this rather lovely fully brushed stainless steel metal bracelet that comes with the timepiece as well. Now, most of these come already with the NATO strap attached, but at some point you may wish to switch between the NATO strap and the metal bracelet. And I've had a couple of comments on my other videos, which if you haven't seen, please do go and check out. I'll put links in the descriptions below, and there may be some popping up at the top of this video as well. I had some comments asking if I could do a video that showed how to switch between the two forms of strap and, you know, the bracelet. So back in October, before the release of Spectre, I went down to the Amiga store and bought a second NATO strap as kind of a spare, so I could keep the original one as pristine as possible. And whilst I was down there, I asked the guy in the store, Anthony, who I've given a shout out to in my review video, who's been fantastic throughout my whole buying process, and you know, the support and information that's come from him and his team down in London has been great. I asked him to show me the correct way in which you change between the NATO strap and the metal bracelet so that you don't kind of do any damage or minimize any scratches or scuffs that you might get to the actual the watch itself. So this is the version, and this is the way that he showed me how to do it. So I'm going to pass this information on to you now in this video, and hopefully it will be of use. So the first thing to do with this process is obviously take off the NATO strap. So we'll do this, just slide this off here, which if you haven't had the NATO strap off this timepiece before, this might be the first time that you kind of get to see the inner workings, the actual movement behind, which is a stunning feature, which we have in there. So what we're going to be doing is to change between the NATO strap fixings and the metal bracelet, stainless steel bracelet. You can see, first off, is to get your tools ready. So we have the eye loop over here, which comes with the watch, which is a very handy tool. If your vision is not brilliant, that's a very useful tool to use and to have certainly whilst you're attempting this process. I myself, I wear glasses anyway, but I actually practiced in the Amiga store changing to the metal bracelet without using the eye loop. I just found it a bit fiddly having that up against your eye whilst you're trying to do this. It's up to you. I mean, it may be very handy if your vision is not too good. Certainly use it to have an initial look at the watch and the actual spring bar pins. What you'll notice with the ones that are attached for the NATO strap is that they are slightly bowed, and that kind of distributes the pressure that's put onto those fixings when you're wearing the NATO strap a bit more evenly, so that's why those ones are bowed. The ones that come for the metal bracelet are dead straight, and we'll come to those in a minute. So the first thing to do, and the first big recommendation that I have, is if you're in a hurry, don't attempt this. What you want to do is take your time, because otherwise if you hurry you're going to make a mistake, you'll slip, you'll end up stabbing yourself with this implement that they give you, which I can tell you is painful, or you'll scratch the casing of the watch, or you know, something worse, which is what we want to try and avoid. So the first thing to do is I'll make a little bit of room, just move this to one side. I'm using the microfiber cloth that came with the watch here, but you want to make sure that you do any kind of work like this on a soft surface so that doesn't scratch any of the casing or anything else. So the first step would be positioning. So position the timepiece or the casing directly down onto your soft surface. And what you want to do is, you have this tool which they give you, and I don't have a macro lens with my phone, but what there is a fork on the end of this, and it kind of slides into the top part of the spring bar, and there is like a lip. Now what you want to do is I'm going to try and show you this without blocking your view and obstructing, but I have the timepiece down and I kind of use my fingers around here to support this spring bar. And then what you do, he says, this is where I stab myself, but we'll try not to, you slide this into the spring bar. There's, as I say, there's like a lip in here, and what you do is you lever it out. And you want to be very gentle, very slow, very methodical with this, and just take your time. So it goes in, and hopefully, he says, as that lever's down, yeah, it moves slightly. You'll see there, it has moved slightly, and it simply pops out like that. Now, that's fairly quick, fairly easy. As I say, take your time. There's no rush with things like this. You don't want to damage the watch or the casing, and you certainly do not want to stab yourself in the fingers, because as I say, it is painful. Once you've done one side, you spin it around, and we do the same thing on this side. Now, again, if I go quiet, it's just because I'm concentrating, but as you can see here, gripping, supporting on each side of the spring bar. Get this in here. As I say, you don't want to scratch anything, so you take your time. You'll see maybe it's just levering down. No, it didn't go that time. The important thing there is that I wasn't scratching the actual casing of the watch. That literally, as it slid down, it only slid maybe 2 millimeters down the spring bar, so there's no damage to the watch itself. We'll try once more. And what you're looking to do here is obviously not have the spring bar fly out. Once more. You don't want the spring bar flying out because it will, you know, could go anywhere, and they can be quite tricky to find if they go into carpet or what have you. There we go. So that's another one out. And that simply pops out like so. Now, when that initially does pop out, you'll notice that it's pressed up in between the gap here. Now, there is going to be, inevitably, with any kind of movement like that, there's going to be some scratching on the inside. Now, what I was told by Anthony and Migo is, you know, light scuffs, light scratches like that, they do polish out. They can polish them out. Probably the best time will be when you take your watch in for its first service. You know, they'll polish any scuffs or scrapes out. I myself personally will not be chopping and changing that much between the NATO strap and the metal bracelet. I've got my Seamaster 300M on the metal bracelet, which is great, and for a change I quite like having mine on the NATO strap, my SPECTRE Edition. So mine will 95% of the time be on the NATO strap, but obviously this is a handy skill to have and to know how to do yourself. Obviously, if you're in any doubt, go into a Amiga boutique or a jeweler's and they will happily swap these for you. So that's the NATO strap removed and the spring bars removed. What I'm going to do now is just get the metal spring bars for the metal bracelet. They came in this little kind of seal bag, which is very handy to kind of keep them together. One person did put a comment on one of the unboxing videos, you know, oh, I love the plastic bag. Well, to be frank, what else would you expect? It's the best tool for the job to keep them together. So yeah, so here we have the spring bars for the metal bracelet. What I'll do is I'll hold one up like that, and then you can kind of see the difference between the metal bracelet one and the NATO strap. You can see it is slightly bowed there. So what we do next, so I'll put these down to one side, is the watch we turn over, and what we do now is we get the metal bracelet which comes with the timepiece, and what we're going to do is one at a time thread or insert the metal spring bar into the end of the bracelet there. So it's obviously it's going to fall out if you tilt it, so I will try and show you this without that happening. I'll put my thumb on the bottom so it kind of goes in there. into that gap now. Now the next part is that you need to figure out which way round the metal bracelet goes. So that's the orientation of the watch, like so, and you wear your bracelet. Let me look at my Seamaster 300M. Okay, so it needs to go this way round. So if this is the timepiece, we turn that over. This end, the top end here, will go into the top part of the watch here, so it's in effect on the bottom, and it will look like so. Okay. Now the reason I've figured that out is because on my 300M, that's the way in which the bracelet goes. So you want it so that Omega is the right way up, and as you follow it down, that's the way your watch orientation is. As you can see, the crown is on the right there. So that's the way we're going to put it in. So I will move this to one side and insert the metal spring bar again. Now the best way to do this part is to have the watch face down, again on the smooth surface, so you don't damage the crystal face there, which is very resilient, by the way. You know, I've had my 300M, which has a similar treated crystal face to it, for just over a year now, and there is no scuffs, no scrapes, no scratches. You just give it a clean with a microfiber cloth and it looks stunning. So what we're going to do now is, I've put the spring bar in here into the metal bracelet. What you want is that kind of centered, and the best way to describe this is you have this fully flat against the watch. This kind of drops down, and if I can hold this in position, I'll try and show you how it's gone. Now that's kind of slid out. This is can be quite tricky, but as I say, take your time and it will be fine. So you have that flat down. Hold it with one finger so it doesn't move about a lot. Now what you want to do is, you'll see that the spring bar kind of overlaps the bracelet and the casing on both sides. What I'm going to try and do is show you this so you can see. There we go. Not sure if that's focusing, but you can kind of see the spring bar overlaps top and bottom to the actual casing. So what we're going to do is you put that flat again, try and keep it in position if you can, and all you do is you hold this securely, and one side at a time you kind of do the reverse from when we took out the NATO strap bars, and you jimmy one side at a time. So one side will pop down as it has there. You want to keep holding it in position and come back to the next side. You don't push hard, it's just very, very light pressure, and you push on the other side, and that's it, and you'll see it pop down. I hope that it's hard to film and show that at the same time, but I hope that kind of demonstrates you do one side at a time. So top, push, slight pressure, that'll pop down. You don't press too hard downwards then, you just keep that light pressure to then maneuver yourself to the bottom pin, push that up, and it will just pop down. It's as easy as that. So I'll do the other side as well. This is slightly trickier, obviously, because the bracelet will be attached fully then. But what we do is we load the spring bar through here, and it's awkward in a way because it's in reverse, or rather, you've got the bracelet now to contend with. So we literally just very gently, very lightly, small movements, otherwise that happens. I mean, it is a very delicate procedure, and as I say, the key thing is just to take your time, stay calm. You don't want to damage anything or yourself and stab yourself in the fingers, because it does definitely hurt. So there we go, I've got the the NATO strap in position now, the metal bracelet in position now, with the pins on each side, top and bottom. So again, we just very light pressure here on the actual bracelet itself. It's important to keep it kind of flat so you give yourself as maximum maneuvering room as possible. So one side at a time. So we start at the top, that goes in like that, then the second at the bottom here, move that slightly away so it focuses. Hopefully it's just literally a little pressure, and that's it, and it's in. So what you want to do is just make sure that has gone in, which it has in this case, which is great because you don't want this not going in fully and then flying off your wrist and onto the floor and scratching, or you know, what have you. So that's it. That's the metal bracelet on. Stainless steel bracelet. This video is going on slightly longer than I would have liked, but as I say, the key thing is to take your time, not make any mistakes where possible. So that's how get the metal bracelet on. To take it off, if you were to switch back to the NATO strap, or if yours already comes with the metal bracelet on, it is the same kind of maneuver as removing the NATO strap. You have the watch down like this on a flat, smooth, soft surface so you don't scratch the casing. And what I'll do is, that's down. You have your finger here supporting behind on where the actual bracelet attaches. So your finger will be resting across this section here. Now this is important for later on, because as you provide support from behind there, and what you do is, again, one at a time, starting at the top, down, and I can feel that has popped out of the actual socket where it is. Now you don't push hard here, because otherwise you're going to bend and break the spring bars. There's just a light piece of pressure from behind to make sure that it doesn't pop back into the socket. So you get the top out first, and then come down to the bottom. Again, take your time, light pressure, upwards movement. Sorry, that's blocking your view. Light pressure, upwards movement, keeping the pressure from behind, and it should just, there we go, I can feel it has popped out the bottom one as well. So not letting it go backwards so it pops back in, which it has done, there we go. So I'll start that again. As I say, it's a slow process, you take your time. It may pop it back in a couple of times, but it's no matter. So in, down, feel it pop out of its little socket, which it has done, and then come to the bottom one as well. Sounds a lot worse than it is, that noise. There we go, so it's popped out, and just pressure there, and you see, there we go, and the spring bar will pop out. And that's how you take one side out. We'll come over and do the other side as well straight away. Again, same maneuver, finger on behind, some light pressure. I can see that's just popped out there. Then come to the bottom. The bottom's probably the tougher one to get out, I think, because there's more pressure on it, because the top one is already out. So I'm trying to film this so you can see everything that's happening. As I say, this, no, that's not going to go, so I'll try once more. Just take a moment, maybe, there we go. Just take a moment to compose yourself and try again. As I say, my finger is shaking slightly now. I am slightly nervous, but I'm taking my time. And there's the top. No, you can hear it's clicked back in. Slight more pressure. And then on the bottom as well. Bottom one is trickier, definitely. As I say, there's more pressure coming through, there we go, coming through from the bottom pin because the top one's already out. So there we go. So that's the metal bracelet off. So what I'll do quickly is give this a little clean so you can keep it as pristine as possible. So that's fine. So there's no damage there to the casing or anything like that, or any of the side parts here. So that's just pure care of taking your time, as I've said. And it really is, it's an obvious thing, but it's the most important. Just take your time. There's no rush. Now to attach these spring bars for the NATO strap back, what you want to do is, similarly to how we took it out, you support from each side, so front and back with your thumb and your forefinger here, but you want to insert one end into the hole where that goes there, and then you can see there's quite a difference there between where the bottom is joined there to how far up the top of the spring bar goes against the casing. So what you want to do, and this again is this is probably one of the riskier parts that I find in terms of stabbing yourself, is you have the bottom part loaded here, top is here, and all you're going to do is literally support each side, front and back, so it doesn't move. The tool in the top here, press down, you'll see it kind of goes there, and then all you do is you turn slightly and maneuver that pin in there. So there we go, that's one attached. There we go. And then for the other side, it's the same maneuver. Again, insert one end into the bottom there, support with your fingers. This is fiddly, granted, but it's probably the easiest and safest way to do this kind of maneuver. So there's the bottom supported. There we go. We push down. No, see it's tougher because the casing is actually resting on the crown. I might try and do it this way around. That might be easier. Like so. So it's just having a grip on your watch. It looks fiddly, it is, but it's the good way to do it. So you push down. Once you get it, there we go. Nearly stabbed myself, but it's fine. Once you get it in this position here, you can then just push slightly, guide it to that hole, like so, and there we go. And that's now set up again for your NATO strap or your leather NATO strap. You know, all the different kinds that there are that come from Amiga now that are available, which are great. It's great to have that option. As I say, I'm going to keep my SPECTRE Edition on the NATO strap for 95% of the time, probably 99% to be honest. That's how you change the NATO strap for the metal bracelet, should you wish to. I hope that's been informative. I'm sorry it has been a slightly longer video than I would have liked, but these things, you take your time, you don't rush it, and I think that's the best way, and that's the way that, as I say, Anthony in the London Amiga boutique showed me how to change between the metal bracelet and the NATO strap, or vice versa. It's the easiest way I found as well. I was struggling before he showed me how to do that myself. It was a struggle to try and do it, and I was nervous. I'm still nervous now. I don't want to damage the watch, but as I say, any light scuffs, any light scrapes, they can be polished out, so don't worry too much. But if you are nervous, if you're not confident in doing this yourself, by all means go to a jeweler's or to an Amiga boutique. They will happily change it for you. So that's it. I hope that's been informative. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do go and check out my other videos if you haven't already done so. There's an unboxing video, which was the day after I actually got the watch. I brought it home and then I filmed a video, and then I did a review video as well, which I'll put links to in the description below. Hope you've enjoyed. Please do leave feedback. Any constructive criticism is always welcome. This is a learning process, this whole YouTube thing, but it's been good so far. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, click like, enjoy your own timepieces, and whatever time of day it is where you are, or evening, have a good one. Catch you later. Thanks very much. Bye.